Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, good morning, Coach Reed. You had the opportunity of being on the ultra-modern facilities of the Las Vegas Raiders. Is it the best condition you ever had to prepare for Super Bowl?
I would say yes. I think I understood the question. Preparation for this? Yeah, so it's great conditions to prepare for this game. I think our guys have been focused in up to this point. So, and the facilities are great.
Hey, at this point, at this point, Andy, where do you feel like Travis stands among the greatest tight ends in the history of the game, and do you think being the best ever at his position is something that motivates him?
Yeah, so I think all these guys want to do the best they possibly can, to play the best they possibly can. And then I tell you, Travis's numbers probably stand up for themselves. I will tell you that he has an opportunity to go down as one of the best, if not the best, tight ends to play. Does he spend a ton of time worrying about that? I don't think he does. Every game he goes, let's just go win. I mean, that's kind of his thinking. And however, he's competitive, and during crunch time, he's going to be there for you, and want the ball to help out the team. Gotcha.
Andy, there's been a lot of teams in various sports in your position where players have talked about just it's so taxing to be in this championship or bust mode year after year after year mentally. How do you make sure that there's still joy for your players in the day-to-day and it doesn't become a thing where it's just trying to have the relief of winning?
Yeah, listen, we try to have fun within the intensity of the game during the week. There's a time to focus in and a time to mess around. They don't have to come in where they feel they're uptight in practice. I think some of that is we keep it relatively consistent so they know what they're coming into every day. The times are the same. They know the drill that's coming up. They know when they can focus and need to focus, and then they can also know when they can mess around and goof around with each other and kind of let their personality show.
We'll go back to back.
Coach.
In the fall of 22, Todd Pinkston was coaching in high school, and now he's a running backs coach. What do you think he has brought to the running backs room, and was his background as a receiver helpful for guys like Isaiah Pacheco out of the backfield?
Yeah, I think that does help. As far as knowing how to run routes, they had Greg Lewis last year, so he was in that same. He kind of came up through that same way. Todd and Greg were different personality-wise, but their fundamentals were the same, and I think that's healthy for the running backs. Porter Ellett also works in there with Todd, and so he can kind of carry over some of the things that we had last year, and we're doing there with EB's influence and Greg's. So I think all of that helped Todd. However, Todd came with he's always been, and I saw this when he was a player, he was willing to teach the young guys that were coming up below him, the wide receiver at the wide receiver position. And he just had a good way about him with that. And I always thought, man, he'd be like a really good football coach if he ever chose to go that route. And then he did at the high school level. He's got a son that's a phenomenal player that's coming up through going to college here, I believe next year. Anyways, he's a good teacher.
And staying on the topic of assistant coaches and moving up through the ranks, how much being in the Super Bowl year after year affected, just coaches not being able to do that on your staff?
Say that one more time.
Well,
That was,
your season going so long,
Yeah.
Yeah. How much is that a circumstance of coaches not being able to move up and out?
yeah. So I want to give them all an opportunity to continue to grow, whether it's on our staff or somewhere else. So sometimes when the season does go a little bit longer like this, the other spots get filled up on other teams, which allows us to have continuity. And continuity is great. I mean, it's great for me, but from a selfish standpoint and for the team. But at the same time, I like to promote my guys to have an opportunity to do this thing. Sometimes this coaching can be short-lived in one spot. It's sometimes short-lived in the National Football League. So if you have an opportunity to move up, I think that's a positive thing.
Coach Reed, Patrick Mahomes up for Man of the Year. What do you see from a guy who's able to do so much in the Kansas City community, family man, do the commercials, lead the team to the Super Bowl, and do this all with a passion?
Yeah, he had my vote. He's a great one that way. Always willing to give back time. I mean, there's only so much time in a day. He's going to exhaust that. He's great with kids. Great with his own kids. He's great with kids, period. And he's a good dad and husband. So that makes him a pretty good man.
Right here.
Coach, Contessa Brewer with CNBC. Nice to see you.
Yes.
Can you give me a sense of the kind of conversations that you've had with your team and your staff around gambling ahead of the game in Las Vegas?
Yeah, so the league does a great job of that, of talking to our guys. So we had the league security rep come in and talk to the guys right when we got here. I mean, literally when we got here. And that was part of the conversation was gambling. So he made it very clear, reinstating the rules and regulations and temptations here, obviously, in Las Vegas. So that was addressed, yes.
Andy, over here.
Yep.
Morning, Andy. Good, thanks. Eric Bieniemy, have you had a chance to talk to him by chance? And what do you think his coaching future is in all of a sudden? So,
I did. He actually came in and talked to our team before our last game. So he talked to the offensive guys and hung out with us at our meetings. So I have had a chance to talk to him. He's still up for a couple jobs. Yeah.
what do you think his future is in coaching? And would there be a spot on your staff if it doesn't work out hiring him somewhere else?
Yeah, I can't answer the last part because I have no spots right now. But I would tell you, I think his coaching future is great. I mean, I'm obviously a big fan of his and the things that he can do.
Yeah, see why up there with it to your left.
There you are.
Nice.
Nice, good.
Hey, playing a team like San Francisco that does so much out of the slot in that area defensively, what does Trent McDuffie add to the defense to be able to kind of combat some of the things that they do?
Yeah, so the 49ers have an offense that has a lot of talent, a lot of guys that can do a lot of things. And so you need flexibility within your secondary linebacker positions. Trent gives us that. He can play the inside slot position. He can really play anywhere in the secondary. I mean, whether it's safety, corner. I mean, he is one of our starting corners. But he moves all over the place. He can match up guys. So he's special that way. Yeah.
And can you tell us a little bit about why screen passes play such a vital role in your offense and what the qualities are in your personnel that make it effective?
Yeah, so when you throw the football there, as much as teams do in this league, as much as we do, screen pass helps counter that rush. I mean, if a team is willing to push the quarterback up the field and rush the passer, this gives you an opportunity to check it down and get the big guys out there and in a blocking position. So it's really just to counter the pass for you.
And this first guy here, WFUB from Fordham. You guys had your chairman and CEO, Clark Humphrey, on Good Morning Football this morning. He talked about how he had some conversations with you this season. You said, we're just a player or two away from turning this thing around. And he singled you out as kind of being the most optimistic, the most bullish on this group. What did you see in this group that made you so confident?
Yeah, well, I felt that way. We had some drops, and that's really where it was related. And we were getting better, but we were blown away. And for that catch, and it seemed like it came down to that catch 3 or 4 games, and it was in some cases guys that I'd seen make the play before that weren't doing it at that particular time, but I know they had the potential to make it. So those guys ended up picking it up, doing well here this stretch here. And then we had a young guy, Rice, game was getting better every week. And that's such a key ingredient when you have Kelsey on the other side, that inside slot receiver. And so he kept getting better and better and better as we went along. And then he started making the play. And so he had that group of receivers making play, and then Rasheed picking things up as a rookie rapidly. So it all worked out well.
Hi, I'm Ariaco. Can you touch base on the importance of the initials NPH on the players' jerseys and the legacy that Norma Hunt leaves behind?
Yeah, she leaves a great legacy behind. I think this might be the first Super Bowl that she hasn't been here. Just that in itself is pretty spectacular, but her heart was the biggest thing. Great person.
Good morning, Coach Reed, Dennis Reed, the news for us online.com. Coach, when you, is there somebody that reminds, when you see Isaiah Pacheco run, is there somebody another running back in the past that he reminds you of?
Yeah, he's a violent runner. I hate even mentioning this because he was a 49er, but Roger Craig was a violent runner. He was coming at you with knees, elbows, hips, everything coming at you at one time. And, they were built kind of the same way and ran with that violence. Yeah.
Andy in the back here, Aaron Ladd, KSH 41.
I know you're back there.
Somewhere, yeah, over here.
There we go. All right.
What did you all see from Nick Bolton when you drafted him? He had up and down here this year with the injuries. What did you see from him this year?
Yeah, so Nick is kind of the key to that defense. He's stuck right there in the middle, so he's got to be the transmitter between the back end, the secondary, and the front end, the defensive line. He's able to communicate to both and do it accurately, which becomes important. And then he's really a great tackler. So you put that into the instinct category. He's got great instincts, and he's not the biggest guy, not the fastest guy, but he takes great angles to the ball. And then the place he probably improved the most is in his pass coverage. He's really worked at that and gotten better every year with that. And he's done a nice job this year. And he's done it with a cast on his hand here for about half the season. So he's worked through that part too.
Last one, we'll go back.
Hi, it's Robert Cobb from Inspire Magazine. I have a question for you, Coach. What would you say is the biggest difference between this Niners team you're facing on Sunday versus the team you faced 4 years ago?
Do this. Just raise your hand. Where are you? Okay. Gotcha. Okay. There's a light right there.
Sorry.
All right.
I'll repeat the question.
Yeah, far away.
Okay, I was asking, what would you say is the biggest difference between the Niners team you're facing on Sunday versus the team that you faced 4 years ago?
Yeah. Well, actually, there are quite a few of the same guys, but they played at a very high level then. I think they're even better now. To answer your question, that what McCaffrey would be new, I'd say he's a pretty big ingredient. and the quarterbacks do, and he's an active football player. So, but the rest of the surrounding cast is very similar to what they had before.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Very good.
We got to wait one more. QB.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Here we go.
Yeah, Patrick, from Denver, the last time you guys were in Denver in late October, you didn't look like a Super Bowl team that day. What helped you turn around and get here?
Yeah, I think it's just the process. Just continuing to work hard. Obviously, we had some struggles throughout the season. The guys that never hung their head, they just continue to grind through, and it caused us to play our best football at the right time. So every season's different, but you have to continue to work in order to be great.
Hey, Patrick, Walker with WXCI. Can you talk a little bit about Rasheed Rice's development over the course of the season and what that's been like to work with him?
Yeah, no, I mean, a ton of talent. I mean, I saw that from day one. But with rookies, especially Coach Reed's offense, it takes time. It takes time to learn the different ways we run routes and the way you have to read coverage at the same time. And he's continued to get better and better. And that's why I think you saw his production really get an uptick as the year went on. And I still think he has a long ways to go. He can continue to get better and better, and he can be one of the top receivers in this league.
Hi, Patrick. Chris Jones talked about the fact that you guys are now becoming like the villains of the NFL. There's a growing narrative out there. I know everyone prefers to be liked, but is it a role that you kind of enjoy in a way? Do you feed off of that?
Not necessarily. I think I just like winning. If you win a lot and that causes you to be a villain, then I'm okay with it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to enjoy playing the game and try to win as much as possible.
Pat, here, I'm Nicola, Azteca Deportes. As a team, having facing San Francisco years ago, which is a big quality to overcome this time?
I think it's just their intensity. I mean, they play hard every single play. They bring energy, and we know it's to take our best football. And so for us, we just come in with that intensity. We go out there and play our best, and if we don't, we'll lose the game.
Patrick, how do you view the challenge that you and a lot of other great quarterbacks face of trying to get back here every year, knowing that the roster, especially on offense, is going to keep changing?
I think you just got to try to be the best quarterback you can be for your team. I think that's what you've seen with a lot of the great quarterbacks is whatever their team needs, they'll go out there and do. The roster's always going to change. I explain that to every single player that's here. You never know if you're going to be back in this game again. And so try to maximize your moment, maximize your opportunity, and see what you can do in order to make a memory that will last forever.
Pat, back left, Aaron Ladd, KSHB 41. You talked about a Super Bowl routine. It's Wednesday now. Where are you at in your Super Bowl routine?
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You kind of are going back to installing the base offense. Obviously, we have the whole entire game plan in, but you really focus on that like you would do in a normal week, and trying to make sure you're ready to go. Obviously, you have media and stuff like that you have to do, but at the same time, it's a normal week now. We're going to get back to practice and do what we would do for a normal game day.
Patrick, a lot of people over the years have had fun with your running style or your running gait. Is that something? How did you develop the way you run? And have you ever gone with that and kind of like efficiency measurements or anything like that?
I do stuff like that. I think I've gotten better in my running form and faster as I've kind of been in the NFL. But it doesn't look the prettiest, so I think people think I'm slow. I think it's kind of deceptive. Sometimes I think the defense takes bad angles because they think they're going to catch me faster than they do, and so maybe that's the secret to my speed is that I run not the way everybody else runs.
Pat, up in second row. Sammy with NFL France. About 815 days ago in Allegiant Stadium, you guys ran a spitting huddle. Can we expect something like that on Sunday? I can expect a cartwheel or something?
Maybe Travis. I don't know. Yeah, but no, we'll have some game plan plays, and Coach Reed likes to have fun and enjoy it, so we'll see what we can do, but I think you have to focus on the fundamentals in order to play a defense like this.
Hi Patrick, Kelly Singh, player profiler, women of fantasy football, and what we would like to know is how do you and Brittany make this special moments for the kids? Do you have any routines you do with the kids to try and create core memories with them?
Yeah, I think you just want them to be there. You want them to be able to see what Dad's doing and what all the work he's missing time with them is paying off to be. And being able to have them here this week and getting to spend that extra time that I have over at the house and seeing them run around. And we treat it like a vacation, so hopefully that can be a memory for them. And I was that kid in the locker room growing up, and I know how much impact that's made on my life and who I am. And so hopefully that me playing will be able to make an impact on theirs.
But over here, the fact that all the playoff games that has been away games this year have changed your approach mentally to the game, and do you think that this thing could help you to play the Super Bowl next Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, any new experience is great for you to use as an advantage. I mean, playing on the road in some hostile environments, I think it brought the team together even more. But at the end of the day, it's just playing football. Obviously, the Super Bowl is the biggest stage of them all, but at the same time, you go back to just playing the game that you've always loved growing up and try to go out there and win the game.
Hey, Patrick, Coach Reed's coaching tree, well known. A lot of his coaches are former players that used to play for him. Who do you think on your team would make a good coach down the road? And would you think would you yourself make a good coach, you think, down the road?
I would hope so. I try to help out all the young guys that are around the organization now. I've kind of become the old guy, even though I still feel young. So I would hope I'd make a good coach. The hours would be tough, but I think eventually Jarek McKinnon would be a great coach because he knows everything. Him and guys like Blake Bell who have been in the league for a while, different systems, and bring energy every single day. I think those guys could be coaches if they want to be. But for now, let's let them keep playing with us.
Hi, Patrick. This Sunday you're going up against Fred Warner, who's had a tremendous season. How does he impact your game plan?
Yeah, you got to know where he's at on every single play. I think the best thing about Fred is he has the physical ability. He can do everything. He's tall, he's fast, he can blitz, he can do whatever you want him to do. But he's mentally, you can tell how much he studies the film and how he's able to adjust his coverage based off what the team he plays. And I think you have to know where he's at on every single play. If you don't, he'll make a play happen. That'll be negative for us, but positive for them. And so someone you definitely have to account for.
Patrick, over here, Martin Rogers, Fox Sports. When you look back through the history of the league, there have been many great quarterbacks who never got the chance to play for a Super Bowl and never got the chance to win a Super Bowl. How great for you that early in your career still you've got two in the bag and a chance to win another?
Yeah, I mean, very grateful, very blessed. I mean, I understand how lucky I am to be on this team. To come into a team that was already a winning organization with a winning culture, with a lot of great players, Hall of Fame players, and being able to just kind of jump right in and get in a year where I can learn and learn under Alex Smith. I was blessed, and so I want to maximize these opportunities. I know that they don't always come. You're not going to be at every single Super Bowl, and so whenever I'm here, I enjoy it. I enjoy the week, and then I just try to go out there and play my best football. And like I said a little bit earlier, make a memory that will last forever with a lot of guys that work extremely hard.
Patrick, Michael Farrar with Bird Sports Network. Growing up, you were a multi-sport athlete. How is it playing in those different atmospheres help you in the biggest atmosphere of all playing the Super Bowl?
I think it's just playing all the sports. It taught me how to compete. It taught me how to learn how to make things happen, to make adjustments on the fly. And then it's all kind of evolved into the way I play the quarterback position, being able to fill out space and make the pass like a point guard or throw across my body like a shortstop. I mean, it just learning how to compete and to adjust on the fly and make things happen is definitely something that's helped me become the player that I am.
What are the things that you as a quarterback have to do well to be effective using the straight pass, and what does it do for your offense?
I mean, it helps that you have one of the best coaches of all time at knowing when to call them. So with Coach Reed, I think just being able to utilize your eyes, utilize your drop, try to make everything look the same, so that whenever the screens do happen, you can get that D-line to a track, get that D-line to rush, and then getting the accurate football where the guys can get downhill. Coach Reed's did a great job, Coach Heck, Coach Nagy of teaching them, and the guys that we've executed them well. But just that more than anything is knowing the right time, and I feel like Coach Reed has a great feel for that.
Hi, Pat. Sean Rainey with the Reports. So Kansas City traded for Nico Hartman mid-season to kind of bolster the wide receiver room. What has that meant for you guys in an offense to get Nico back in there? What has his impact been, and what does it mean to have continuity in big games like the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, first off, you get that speed that he has, and being able to stretch the defense horizontally and vertically whenever he's on the field. Just add another guy like that. And then I think even more than that, another guy that everybody loved in the locker room. Being with us the year before and the years previous, everybody had loved Nicole and the way he brings energy every single day. And I think a lot of times that can be bigger than anything, is just having guys in the locker room that want to play hard, that want to come together and go for this common goal. And it's always great to get those guys in there.
Hi, Pat. Good morning. Pat, you guys win the next Sunday. Coach Reed would the coach you watch like winning their third ring of Super Bowl, and you would equal to Troy Aikman. What are your thoughts about this by reaching Troy Aikman?
Yeah, no, it'd be extremely humbling. I mean, like I said, I'm extremely grateful just for the situation that I'm in and being able to play in these Super Bowl games. And more than anything, I mean, getting that back-to-back Super Bowl champs, it just hasn't been done a lot in history, and it speaks to the whole team of not being satisfied with winning one, being able to come back that next year and continue to work. A lot of times, after winning the Super Bowl, you want to relax and feel like you're done. But being able to have that mentality to battle through the adversity that we've battled through this season and get that Super Bowl ring again, it'd be extremely special.
Patrick Haliaco, if you can take us back to the lowest moment in your life and to see where you are today, what would you have told yourself back then?
I don't know exactly when the lowest moment would be, but I think what I've always had is just to continue to follow your dreams. I think that's something that was instilled in me at a young age, and I got to see a lot of pro athletes and how hard they work, and so I knew I had to work hard. And so even when baseball wasn't working out in college, or football, I wasn't starting that first year in college, whatever that was, I just knew if I continued to work hard, that stuff would pay off. And that's the mentality I've had in everything I've done in my entire life, and I'll still work hard to this day, I know, in order to continue to be great and follow my dreams, I have to do that.
Hey, Patrick, Steve White, NFL Network over here. Coach Reed just told us that Eric Bieniemy made you guys a visit last week and spoke to you guys. When did that take place, and what was it like to have him back in the building and kind of feel it?
Yeah, no, it's always great to have you be in the building, just being there, and the energy that he brings, the mentality that he brings, you can feel, just because he has that intensity, but he loves it. He loves being there. He loves being a part of the team and being a part of that culture. And so just having him back in the building was really cool, and listening to him talk and his energy. I mean, it just kind of got everybody. You guys, I think guys had a little bit of like chill bumps today. Like, hey, we got EB's back here, and obviously he didn't get that head coaching opportunity, but I'm excited for him to continue to coach football and to continue to make his impact on the game.
Last one with the back.
Hi, Sherry Taylor here in Beacon. The 49ers were able to stop the Lions defense in the third quarter. How do you plan to keep the energy throughout the game after halftime as you can get around the defense?
Yeah, no, we have to continue to get better. I think that's at the second half. I mean, even looking at the last AFC Championship game, we didn't execute at a high enough level in the second half. And so for us, first you have to be able to manage that long halftime break that you have in the Super Bowl, doing that the right way. And I know the coaches have a great plan for that. And then when you come back out, it's all about execution and energy. And so you can have that execution and energy at the beginning of the game when everybody's intense and it's the adrenaline's pumping, but being able to bring that again in the second half will be super important, especially against a great defense. And so definitely something that we have to make sure that we're ready to do, and something that we have to execute at a high level.
Thank you.
Well, it's a pain, but we can do it.